Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the DropKick Podcast. Today we're joined by Pro and Bros, one and only Arnold, to help us do these predictions for Extreme Rules this Sunday. And let's get right to it. How are you doing today, Arnold?
I'm chilling, man. I'm trying to stay safe. Just trying to, do the whole quarantine, social distancing thing. But yeah, everything's been good, bro.
How's the Pro and Bro Wrestling Podcast been going? Which everybody can check out.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. It's great. Our last interview was with Chavo Guerrero, and it was so full circle because I got to tell him the story that I actually met him in 2004 when I was only a kid in school because he used to get rims from my dad. So he went to my dad's office, and I skipped school to meet him. And there's a picture of me wearing Chavo's Cruiserweight Championship. And I got to show him that I actually remembered, and I thought that was really cool.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, things
really
just come full
awesome,
circle, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So make sure you guys check out the Pro and Bro Wrestling Podcast. I'll have their YouTube channel link in the description, so you guys can check that out right after listening to the DropKick Podcast. And Extreme Rules this Sunday. What are you thinking about the card? I'm thinking it's looking pretty decent.
I love the card, man. I don't think there's any boring matches in there. I take that back. I have one in mind, but we'll discuss it when we get back to it. But it's a great card.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be a really good show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it looks like they're going to be kicking things off with the United States Championship. Apollo Crews is going to be defending against MVP with Bobby Lashley by his side.
Yes. I'm a little confused with this match because I know Apollo Crews has the current United States Championship, and I know MVP, if he wins the match, he's gonna hold the new U.S. Championship. So I don't know what's gonna happen when Apollo wins. When Apollo wins, is he gonna take MVP's new U.S. design belt, or is he gonna keep the traditional one?
I feel I don't know why. I just feel like he's gonna hold both championship up, and then the next night on Raw, the old one will be gone, which is gonna kind of hurt because the old one's the last championship we have, with nostalgia.
That's true.
Yeah.
Personally for me, I don't even mind the new design, but because I think it looks clean. But the only problem that I have with it is that I feel like it looks too small. It looks like an NXT, the first NXT Tag Team Championship. That's what it's like to me.
Yeah. I don't have much of a problem. I think the design is decent. It's just the one thing, the difference between the old one and the new one is nice, but with the old one, you could see it from miles away and see that's the United States title because it's a flag. True. Whereas for the new one, you got the eagle with the flag, but it's smaller, so from a distance, it doesn't really stand out, but it's still a good looking title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
So I personally.
Here's what I... Okay, wait.
Okay, no, you can go. You can go, of course.
All right, yeah, here's what I think they're going to do. Yeah.
No, you go.
Here's what I think they're... So, remember Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels with both titles back in the day with the ladder match? I feel like they're going to replicate that in a way.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, they're going to do that whole thing with both IC titles, you know what I mean? And then... it's going to be great. But like I said, it's with the U.S. title this time. So I think we're going to great. I don't think we're going to get a ladder match specifically, but they're going to do something along those lines to kind of have a throwback to that Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon kind of moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's I think smart. I never thought about it like that, but I could definitely see that happen because, if they're going to prolong the storyline, which I think they kind of should, it should lead up to that,
Absolutely.
I think there should be some type of confusion, at the end of the match or something, for the storyline to go on, and maybe the end of the chapter, it's them fighting for the 2 U.S. championship. And you're right, the Shawn and Razor build up, and the winner is the definite champion. That's really good.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's one thing I do feel would have been a little bit better because I feel it kind of made no sense for. I get MVP's an iconic U.S. champion, but for them to, if anything, if he was to introduce the title, they should have been okay, you have to give it to Apollo Crews. I feel if they went a John Cena JBL route to Judgment Day, where Apollo gets the new title, and MVP's like, no, you know what? I'm the greatest champion of all time. And kind of reverse it, have MVP hold the old strap. I feel like that would have made a little bit more sense. But overall, it's still very interesting. I see Apollo Crews retaining the championship for sure.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't mind either way. But me personally, I think MVP is definitely more entertaining than Apollo Crews. Just because of his how his charisma is, his personality. Like when he talks, like you listen, and not to say that Apollo can't do that. Apollo can definitely, I think he definitely has that in him. And I think that the little like teases of like heel turns here and there, things that that can lead up to a heel turn. But as of right now, to me personally, Apollo's U.S. Championship reign, as athletic as he is kind of stale. To me, he's just that like fighting champion. Like I'm a U.S. champion. Champion. And it's just there. It's just there to me.
It's just there.
Yeah. But I know if MVP wins it, which I'm not sure if he will. Which I don't think he will actually. I think Apollo's going to retain. But if he wins it, it would definitely be a more entertaining U.S. Championship run.
For sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. What about you, Daniel? Who do you got winning this match?
I want MVP because I love MVP. Like, he was one of my favorite wrestlers growing up. You know what I mean? So, yeah, dude, all the way back, when it goes way back, I love that guy because, I watched him on TV for the first time. It was him and Triple H in a segment. That was my first time getting to see him. And it was, like, really cool. And it would be cool to have him win, but I don't know, man. It's hard. But I think Apollo's going to retain somehow, but you never know, man. So I think I'll go with MVP. I'll go with the wild card.
Yeah. I just see Apollo Crews winning it. It would be awesome. Again, I'd agree with you guys if MVP won it. Now that we're talking about it, like, and hinting the Apollo Crews heel turn, what if they pulled off a little finger poke of doom in there?
Oh, no.
I don't see it happening, but it could be pretty interesting.
Nah.
It could be interesting.
Nah. I don't think
pretty cool.
No diss to them, but like I feel they're gonna do the finger poke of doom. The finger poke of doom. That's gonna be like Dolph and like Drew McIntyre storyline. I don't think they're gonna.
I could see that.
No.
I don't think they're gonna recreate that for Apollo and MVP.
Man,
reasonable. Okay.
That's a good take. But next up, the SmackDown Women's Championship is on the line as Bayley defends against Nikki Cross. I think Bayley's had a pretty good run with the women's title. I don't see Nikki Cross winning it just yet. I feel like maybe this is where they can finally like hint at maybe an Alexa Bliss heel turn on Nikki Cross. Maybe start teasing that a little bit during this match. But I definitely see Bayley retaining because I'll just spoil my prediction later. I see Sasha Banks winning as well, and then I just see SummerSlam, Bayley and Sasha with every main roster women's title on their shoulders.
Right.
But yeah, what do you guys see happening right there?
Go ahead, Daniel. You go first.
I think Bayley's going to retain, and she's done a great job holding that title. And, it's such a prestigious title. You had so many women hold the title. And now that Bayley, isn't she like the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champ?
I believe so.
I believe so. So I think she's going to hold that title until SummerSlam possibly. And then we have that Sasha and Bayley match. And so I got Bayley for this.
Yeah, same, definitely. I definitely think like 99% Bayley's going to retain. I'm happy for Nikki Cross that she gets this spot, and I think it's really cool. If you're going to just see it on paper for what it is, Nikki Cross versus Bayley is kind of like, just looking at those two names, you already know like who's going to win based on how.
Who's going to win,
yeah. Based on how they've been like booked so far. And the only way that to me as a fan, that can justify Nikki Cross versus Bayley is if it's gonna further their tag team storylines. Like, you're right. Like, if Alexa Bliss turns heel, on her, or I don't think anything's gonna happen with Sasha and Bayley just yet on this pay-per-view. They're gonna save that for something big. But yeah, man, like if they're gonna do this, like, have something ready for Alexa and Nikki Cross, because I just don't like. Okay, I'm gonna save this comment for like a next match because I kind of have the same opinion for it. But it's kind of like I just don't like it when WWE like books a match, and just by looking at the names, you already know what the finish is gonna be.
Yeah.
You know, and it just seems like a filler. Like, oh, she just needs to defend it. Got to defend it against someone. She's got to have like she's got to retain it against someone else at some point. So that's how it feels like.
Yeah.
Again, unless something happens with Alexa.
Never know. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, but
definitely.
but I'm happy. I think Nikki Cross is super talented though. I kind of felt bad because like, did you watch WrestleMania? When I think they were the first match, and JBL and Michael Cole were on commentary, and JBL has a pattern of like kind of like downplaying people's moments. Like I know when like at one point Nikki Cross kind of like ripped up her shirt or whatever.
Yeah.
And she wanted to have that WrestleMania moment, and I think to her it was like serious.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, what was that? Oh, I guess that was her WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Like that was such a like douche move.
Yeah. But, I'm such a letdown. Yeah.
But I'm happy for you.
Yeah. For sure. Next up, we got for the WWE Raw Women's Championship, Asuka versus Sasha Banks. I feel like people are going to be upset about it. I don't mind it, but I'm predicting Sasha Banks to win the title, and her and Bayley are just going to go at it at SummerSlam or Survivor Series, depending on how long they're going to have them hold the titles for. Sasha Banks is going to win this, and they're going to eventually have a title with every championship on their shoulders, or maybe it starts from when they drop the women's tag titles, but I definitely see them going at it champion versus champion.
Gotcha. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Like for me, I can definitely see it going that way. And if it does, like I'm not mad at it because it makes sense. But at the same time, I think Asuka's gonna retain because I think right now with Becky Lynch kind of handing the torch to Asuka, in a sense, I think this is the time for them to rebuild Asuka, right?
That's exactly what I say. Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, she's great at the comedy role, the tag team, super entertaining. But, with Charlotte Flair gone, with Becky Lynch gone, they need a female superstar who's kind of like their fighting champion, who you can believe in. And I think Asuka's reign will be too short if she loses it this Sunday.
Exactly my thoughts, man.
Yeah. But she's great, man. Like I don't know if you guys like old Asuka matches, like when she was in Japan, but like she had like brutal matches, like with broken nose and everything.
She's a warrior, man.
Yeah. She's very, very talented.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is very, very interesting. Pretty sure we haven't seen this in WWE before. We've seen the name of the match used in AEW, but eye for an eye, whole different concept, by the way. Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins. You win the match by pulling the other person's eye out. I really don't know how they're gonna do this match, but I predict Rey Mysterio winning it, but the heel fan in me wants to see Seth Rollins take it. But I predict Rey Mysterio. What do you guys think on that?
Go ahead, Daniel. You can go first.
I read a spoiler on this match actually, so I kind of know what the finish is, and it's
pretend you didn't see the finish. What were your thoughts before?
Okay.
Spoiler.
I think I think Rey's gonna win. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
I think Rey's gonna win, and I don't know how they're gonna do the actual thing, because the spoiler said like it just talks about the finish. It doesn't talk about who actually wins.
So that's like, the thing about quarantine. It's not live, and they tape these things.
That's right.
Right. So man, I don't know, but I think Seth with the eye patch over his eye, I think it looked really cool with this gear. It would look like that. Yeah.
And then when Roman comes back, they got to do something where he wears an eye patch. That way in 2020, Mox, Seth, and Roman all wear eye patches.
Funny, man.
Yeah, what do you think, Arnold?
I can see this match. I can see two different scenarios. I can see a sweet clean, revengeful, victorious win for Ray, and he gets his revenge, and him and Dom are celebrating, and that closes the chapter on the Seth and Ray book. Or I can also see Seth winning, but if Seth wins, it's because Dom turns heel and helps Seth and joins his group. So because I feel like if Seth just wins because he wins the match, then it's kind of like, what's the point? Like,
what was the point of that?
Just gonna continue this torture, like to Raw, like you know what I mean, like nothing's been solved. So either Dom turns heel and Seth wins, and the next chapter is Seth and Dom together, talking about how, like, Dom could talk about how he's been in his father's shadows all his life and too much pressure of being just like his dad, and now he wants to find his own self, and instead of looking up to Ray, he's gonna look up to his mentor, to his new Messiah, Seth, his new leader and inspiration. So I can definitely see it going that way, and I think it actually will. I don't know. Like, Ray doesn't need the win. But yeah, I think I'm gonna say Seth. Seth's gonna take it, but turning heel.
Right. Before we say anything, Ray is not under contract right now. I'm just gonna put that out there.
He's not?
No, they're paying him like literally.
But everybody's saying this, but everyone's like, oh, he's gonna go to AEW. It'd be cool, but his son is totally signing with WWE, and I don't see Rey Mysterio signing a contract somewhere else at this point. So, but yeah, it is kind of crazy that he's not. Speaking of people not under contract, Jeff Hardy's currently not under contract, but he's got he's not. Well, he's under contract, but they're trying to re-sign him, and he hasn't signed a new one.
Interesting. Okay.
And he's got a bar fight with Sheamus.
Yeah, John Cena. I heard rumors. I don't know if this is true or not. Cena is under contract either, and the fan in me was like, "Yo, what if he goes to Japan or something?" Like,
no, there's no way.
Can you imagine? Like, it's never gonna happen. But can you imagine, like, how cool that would be?
Cena versus Okada would be really awesome. But,
or Tanahashi, man, or anybody.
But Cena will be WWE through and through
for life.
Forever.
Just John Cena.
Forever, man.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I had no idea about those guys not being under contract. I guess they got the Heath Slater contract, huh?
Yeah,
that was so cool to see Heath on Raw. By the way,
that was really cool on Raw.
That was
cool. Man. Yeah. For the bar fight, we could even breeze through this one because I honestly don't think this is the end of this feud. I feel like Jeff Hardy and Sheamus' feud is amazing. I feel like it's been probably the best thing on SmackDown in my opinion. And I see Jeff Hardy winning this bar fight, overcoming the odds, showing people that I can resist all these drinks here. Sobriety is a real thing. Addiction can be overcome. Yes. But then I see Sheamus just asking for that one more match, for the rubber match, and going into SummerSlam, they'll have another match.
Yeah, I feel like this is the only way that it has to go, especially with what's going on in the world. Like, everyone's like dealing with so many issues and like, mental health, like being locked down, just all these real life problems, and they need if they're gonna look at WWE as an escape, and if WWE is gonna use like something this heavy in a storyline, then it has to be an uplifting end, like it can't be
absolutely
just like down on the floor, everyone already has a problem with the storyline from to begin with, because a lot of people feel like it's too insensitive and all that. I personally don't have a problem with it. The only problem that I have with the storyline is that it's been done before too many times.
That's the thing,
absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, with Shawn Michaels and like that whole like, oh, better being pissed off than being pissed on. That.
And right.
Wow, man, you guys are just like copying it like move per move,
word for word, right?
Yeah,
it's crazy. It is crazy, man.
Not even like subtle.
But right, it's really weird, but you know what? It is what it is, but I think Jeff wins here, and I don't know what they're gonna do, but you know what? Since he's not under contract, I think we'll see him in AEW. There's no way he's not gonna.
I see him signing with AEW as well with his brother. I see them being in the tag division. I don't think he's going to end his career in AEW. I see another Hardy Boys return in WWE, maybe in a few years, but I do think he wants to trickle in there a little bit, be able to say he's wrestled for every promotion before he retires. And I think it'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I would definitely love that. Me personally, I think I just based off his old interviews, not his old interviews, but most recent interviews since he came back, he kept on saying that he has one more goal in WWE, and that's to have another WrestleMania match. So just based on that sentence alone, like I am leaning more towards him staying in WWE, but at the same time, yeah, man, like it'll be so fun and easy for him to go to AEW because Matt's there and like it's a great wrestling company.
Here's what I think. I would love for him to stay in WWE, get that WWE title one more time, even if it's like a 2-month reign or 3-month reign, and just bring back No More Words, man. Like please, like I love that.
Yeah,
man,
it's awesome.
Same. Yeah.
Did you guys hear the rumor that it was actually supposed to be Jeff Hardy instead of Braun Strowman winning the Universal title at WrestleMania against Goldberg?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I heard that too.
That would have been way better.
Interesting. Yeah,
way better, man. Way better.
But speaking of the Universal Champion, Braun Strowman. Wait, you can finish off what you're gonna say.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I don't think they trust him yet to hold the title because of what happened in the past.
Fair.
I think that's their only concern. I think they really love Jeff, and that's their only concern. I think just being like respectful in a way and just kind of going with the rules, but I think Jeff's still building that trust with the company, and you never know, man. Anything's possible in the WWE, so we'll see him in the title picture eventually, but you never know.
I mean, I agree with that, and like like a lot of people say so many negative things about WWE, and it's also justified. One thing that you can say about WWE is kind of like their forgiveness program, right? Their rehab program too. I mean, like, they mentioned that like Scott Hall, like WWE spent like six digits, like sending him to rehab. Like
amazing.
A lot of money,
amazing. Man, they did it, and they're so it's so great to see that because I've also read that you have 2 strikes on your suspension list. They'll compromise with you. No, 3 to get fired, but like by 2, they'll compromise with you. They'll say, you know what? If you go to rehab, we'll remove a strike. Like that's something that they do as well, and I think it's very respectable.
Right.
But we mentioned Braun Strowman earlier, current Universal Champion, in a swamp fight with Bray Wyatt. I still don't know what that's going to be. I'm guessing they're going to fight at the old Wyatt
cinematic match.
Yep.
Yeah. I do predict Braun Strowman winning because I feel like, all right, normal Bray has lost to Braun. Old Bray's going to lose. Finally, he's going to unleash the Fiend. The Fiend will take the title from Braun. And we spoke about Jeff Hardy getting the title. I'd love to see, when the time comes, Jeff Hardy having a Willow-type character.
Oh, yeah.
Take out the Fiend. And
that would be dope as hell.
That would be amazing. Yes. So I predict Braun to retain, but I do believe Bray's going to get the title at an upcoming pay-per-view for sure.
I definitely don't have a problem with Braun retaining, but if he's going to wrestle someone and retain, I don't think it should be against Bray. So, like, for me, I personally think Bray might win this one because, Bray's been kind of, like, been booked in a way where he seems weak as that character. And that's why he's been rebranded to The Fiend. He started winning championships. But I feel like if back that character and that character's going to lose again, I just see it, like, hurting him more, Like, it kind of feels like, hey.
For sure. But I think there's like it's a swamp fight, so I don't think there's pinfalls or whatever. It's probably gonna be like via knockout or something. You know what I mean? Something wacky and
right.
But here's what I think. Braun's gonna retain. And then so let me just put this up. Braun didn't beat the Fiend, or did he beat the Fiend?
No, he beat normal.
He never
Bray
beat
Wyatt.
the Fiend.
He
beat sweater wearing Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Now he's gonna beat cult wearing Bray Wyatt. What if Husky Harris comes back?
No, okay.
And then we get Nexus coming back. Okay, like, what if that would be pretty
all right,
cool?
if the Nexus came
would be
back,
dope.
that'd be awesome.
That would be dope.
I don't know how they'd build a match between Braun Strowman and Husky Harris, but
I'm just saying, bro.
I'm
just saying. Never know.
I would
know.
think that, man. Like, I think Bray's so talented that he can play all 4 characters. He can be like the new McCoy, you know, like faces of both.
Yeah.
Character at any time. But yeah, you're right. Now that you guys are like putting it that way, like I do agree. Like, most likely you're right. Braun is probably gonna win, and maybe it will take the Fiend to defeat Braun. But I guess for me, like the only reason why I thought like Braun was gonna lose is because they hyped up the 100 days of being Universal Champion. And but like, to me, I felt like they shouldn't do that because it's just like a reminder. I bet like 90% of people that saw that would be like, wait, really? It's already been 100 days? Like championship has been so stale. Like he hasn't really like done anything.
Right.
So, like I feel like that's at first that's why I thought Bray was gonna win, just because like when Bray wins, it's gonna be like, oh, but see guys, Braun held it for 100 days. But
but they did that for Drew too, so just don't forget that.
True.
That's true.
Very true.
That's true. But of course, speaking of Drew McIntyre, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship is on the line in the main event as he defends against Dolph Ziggler. To wrap things up, the stipulation, I've heard rumors it's going to be a TLC match. I think that would be a great stipulation. My money's on Drew McIntyre to retain the championship. I actually think Drew's going to drop that championship to Randy Orton, and I want to see Edge return and win the title from Randy Orton. I feel like that would be a great way to close that storyline. What do you guys think? What do you think, Arnold?
I'm 100% with you, Vikram. I think that's probably how it's going to go.
Okay.
But like what makes me mad is like, again, just like the whole Asuka and not Asuka, the whole Bailey and Nikki Cross is kind of like, why book this match? Like why book it? Like I understand that Dolph and Drew has history. I get that. But man, like no one, like it kind of like just makes me sad and like annoyed at the same time. No one's gonna think Dolph is gonna win a WWE championship against Drew, who just been chosen as the next guy to replace Roman Reigns. It's just not gonna happen. And like that's one thing that, you know, I hate being negative, but I don't even consider it being negative. It's just, I guess, me just like saying my thoughts, because that's one thing that I don't like about sometimes WWE's booking. Like I miss the days like when I was a kid and I would see the Giant versus Lex Luger. It's 50-50. I don't know who's gonna win. If I tune in on Raw and it's Goldust versus Shawn Michaels, like 50-50, I don't know who's gonna win.
50-50.
I miss that feeling. And with this match, it's just kind of like, it's just everything that's wrong with WWE, I guess. Like kind of like can look at a match and I'm like, yeah, I already know the results. You guys just need a match, and you guys just need someone for Drew to wrestle and retain. But you know, with that being said, I understand. Like, I give WWE a little bit of like understanding because of the pandemic. You know, there's not a lot of options for Drew to defend. Like Kevin Owens, like he's kind of like stuck in the mud right now. Sami Zayn's gone. Roman's staying home. So yeah, I mean they got to work with what they've got, and it's the best. You know, that's their best right now. So. And Dolph's talented.
For sure.
Absolutely.
He's so good, man. He's so good. But I'm going to go with the wild card here. I think, dude, if it's a TLC match, I think it's in Ziggler's favor. I think I'm such a big Ziggler mark. Like, I'll put him in my, like, top 10. Like, I love that man. Like, he is so good. I think he's, like, one of the best, bro. And if he wins, like, I'll probably, like, mark out. And, like, I don't know. But I want him to win really bad. But if it's a TLC match, I see Ziggler winning. Somehow, I don't know how. I can just picture it. And then if it's like a normal like 1v1, I think Drew wins with the Claymore. Ziggler's going to sell the crap out of it. You already know.
Oh, I can't wait for him to sell the Claymore.
Daniel, don't get me wrong, man. Like, if Ziggler wins, I'd be so happy. Like, I'd be like all about it.
So good.
Because it's kind of like, like, you know, Jeff Hardy winning his first WWE championship. Like finally, like, or Kofi Kingston the WWE championship. Like, finally, man, like he deserves this. Like
He
I want
deserved
that
it.
to happen. I want that to happen. It just makes me mad
For
that
sure.
I know that's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
unlikely, but you know what? You never know. But
Absolutely, you
You
never
never know.
You never
And I
know.
think that's a great way to leave things off, guys. Going into these pay-per-views, you never know whether it's WWE, AEW, New Japan. We saw Evil win both titles in New Japan. Like
yeah,
you
that was
really never
crazy.
know when something's gonna happen. But Arnold,
Mhm.
we really thank you for joining us today for Extreme Rules Predictions.
course.
Everyone, make sure you check out the Pro and Bro Wrestling Podcast, our YouTube channel. Link will be in the description. And thank you so much for joining us, and we appreciate it.
Take it easy, man.
Take it easy, man.